What is up, YouTube? Thank you guys so much again for 100k subscribers on my YouTube channel. Absolutely insane. It's something I never even imagined closely coming to when I started my YouTube channel. At the end of last year, I was like, wow, this was already quite insane. Maybe at the end of next year, I could reach 100k, right? Or 100k subscribers. Now we already reached it in August. So thank you guys so much again for just subscribing. I don't really have any good ideas. I had no good ideas for like a 100k special. So I thought a Q&A would be quite nice. I tried to get all the questions that I found in my community post. And since you guys don't know much about me yet, I'm just a random guy who uploads, you know, Pokemon Unite content. I thought it would be a good idea to just, you know, let you guys ask me questions. I'm going to try to just, you know, talk a bit more about myself. In the background, as you can see, we have some remote stadium highlights from very long ago. That's when the channel also started. I'm putting up highlights and stuff, slowly posting videos. Now I'm posting 3 videos a day, so it's getting quite a lot. But these are when I did a lot of highlights of my stream clips and stuff. So yeah, YouTube is still very new for me. I started it like taking seriously. I mean, I always had a YouTube channel, but I took it seriously 1.5 years ago at the start of 2022, right? That's when I actually started taking it seriously. Before, pretty much only streamed. I've been streaming on Twitch for 8 years now. A lot of you don't know that. I have a long history in gaming myself, long history in content creation. Again, 8 years of streaming now, so been a long time here. And the first question already, we're just gonna go through the questions right here. You can see there's a lot of them. There's a lot of questions. It's gonna be a very long video, guys. Buckle up, and I'm gonna try my best to answer the questions as good as I can as well. And I hope you guys are satisfied with the answer. So how old am I? Currently 28. Turned 28 in July. A lot of you might be like, wow, 28. You look so young. I mean, thank you. But that's what I always hear. So yeah, 28. And yeah, my birthday is in July. My question would be, and likely someone already asked it, how did you get into MOBAs in the first place? So how did I get into MOBAs? I've been playing MOBAs for 10 years now. Or 11 years. And the funny part is, I just played a MOBA, I played an MMO called Dragonica, which was like a side-scrolling, kind of like, is it Maple Story? Maple Story a bit, but different, called Dragonica again. And I just had a friend in there who was like, or like one of my guild mates back then was like, you should play League of Legends with us, and I had no idea what it even was, right? And I looked some videos, I didn't understand it at all. I watched some League of Legends videos, I couldn't comprehend what was even happening. I started playing it, and then I started playing it a lot. I quit everything else, I just started playing League of Legends all the time. I was very addicted to it. It was super fun to learn a completely different game genre. And back then it was like, there's so much to learn, and it just felt super fun to play. And, you know, getting used to it. So just because of a friend I had in some, not even a friend that I knew personally, it was just a friend in a MMO that I played with, I started playing League of Legends. Otherwise, I would have never even been here, which is quite insane to think about. What is the most fun character for you from every class in Pokemon Unite? Most fun character from every class. Okay, for all-rounders, I mean, I think Lucario is still, I mean, probably Urshifu though. Surging Strikes Urshifu might just be the most fun thing ever. But Lucario, as you can see right here, is one of my all-time favorites as well. The E-Speed right now, or E-Extreme Speed, is one of the most fun abilities. Quite difficult to play right now, but doesn't matter what, it's very fun. And then for attacker, I guess Delphox. I love Flame Charge, Mystical Fire Delphox. Very fun. For speedsters, I guess Zoroark probably right now. Vein Attack Zoroark is super addicting, but Gengar, of course, the good old classic. Good old classic Gengar. Can't forget about that. Leafeon, I mean, I enjoy a lot of speedsters, right? A lot of them are super fun. For Defender, I guess Blastoise. Maybe. I don't know, I find Defenders fun, but nothing is like really, wow, this is like the most fun thing ever. And then for support, I guess I mean, a lot of you don't know, but Mr. Mime is my most played Pokemon of all time. Yes, Mr. Mime is my most played Pokemon of all time. And that's back when Guard Swap was, not even Power Swap, just Guard Swap. The old Guard Swap, I played it pretty much only. I played Guard Swap Confusion so many times, it was super fun. And man, Hyper Beam used to do a lot of damage. Hyper Beam used to do a lot of damage. Oh my god, that was insane. Machamp also. Machamp used to be one of my favorites. Played it for a long time. Alright, next up, we have, I'm just going to delete these and we go one by one. What made you become a solo queue player? What made you become a solo queue player instead of teaming up generally? I just feel like it's more of a challenge, and I think it's more fun. Like, playing solo queue just allows you to have much more variety, right? As soon as you go into like 5-man stacking, there's only one Pokemon you should be playing realistically, right? To have a chance. I feel like duo queuing and trio queuing is kind of cheating. That's all. Like, I thought about this in my old games as well. In my old game, I always solo queued as well. I found duo queue to just be too unfair. especially when two good players duo queue. I think the game just becomes way too easy, and I don't enjoy when the game is too easy. It's just straight up like that. Like I don't want to just feel like, oh, I'm playing duo queue with a with a good player, and suddenly the game just become way too easy. And that's in general just, I enjoy the challenge of, being on my own and having to carry in general. But yeah, that's honestly just the main reason. I feel like duo queuing, especially in duo queuing, would be okay. I did do some duo queue as well back in the day on remote stadium a bit, but I just feel like it just doesn't really feel like a challenge often, Of course, I could duo queue with my viewers, but then if I only play against like try-hard duo queues on the enemy team as well, it's just not very fun. And 5-stacking in Unite is just a bit too one-dimensional. I do not enjoy it whatsoever. My question is, what would you be if you weren't a content creator? I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. I would have studied something. I used to, like, back in the day, I wanted to maybe become either a sports journalist, which is, I don't know, or just anything with sports, or an elementary school teacher. But this is something that was just, like, nothing really fulfilling. But still, those are things I kind of wanted to be. But then just, I started studying. I never finished my studies, because gaming, started becoming my full-time job. And I didn't enjoy what I was studying anyways. I was studying technical environment protection for engineering. And yeah, I'm someone who has a hard time sitting down and learning. It's very, very difficult for me. So I got through school super easily. But when it comes to university, if I just didn't have I just couldn't really just sit down and learn. That's very, very difficult for me. So yeah, I don't know. Life is so random. I never mentioned I would play a Pokemon MOBA, so honestly, I have no idea what I would have been, or what would have happened with me in the past, and what I would be doing now. Why don't you put down a list of followers to play with one game with each one is interested in? I think that would just be way too much, right? Like, playing with all my followers. I think would be a fun idea, but again, it comes back to, like, that solo queue, duo queue thing. I just don't think that's something I want to do. People like me that I solo queue, I think, right? It's a relatable experience. And that's just how I enjoy the game the most, is by solo queuing. That's just straight how it is. What would you ever do during subscriber tournaments or anything you play with your audience? Again, play with my audience, I don't think it's necessarily going to happen unless there's like an event. So I played with some people of my Twitch chat when, Panic Parade was a thing. So that can always happen as like a quick play mode or something. Then I can always consider, playing some with my audience. But besides that, I just don't like it too much. Subscriber tournament could be interesting, but I don't know if that's either like too... maybe that's something I could maybe consider doing. Could be maybe consider doing. Have any other MOBAs piqued your interest ever since playing Pokemon Unite, and what would you want to stream upload on? That's a funny question, because I played 4 MOBAs before Unite even. I started with League of Legends, then I played Infinite Crisis, then I played Heroes of the Storm, then I played League of Legends again, then I played Heroes of the Storm again, then I played Wild Rift, then I played Heroes of the Storm again, and then I played Pokemon Unite. So, I'm interested in Dota 2 now, but I just never really practiced Dota 2, and it's just way too much to learn, so I just don't have the time, I would say, to get into Dota 2. It is just way too much of a time commitment. Otherwise, I would like to get into it, but uploading content or at any other game is just no. Maybe Wild Rift. I thought about maybe making a second channel for Wild Rift, but I kind of just I just don't have that time, right? Like, I'm spending so much time on Unite already, and that's just the thing that, I'm good at right now, and the people watch me, so why not just invest more time into that than, go into other games where nothing might even happen, right? So, yeah. What advice would you give a mobile player who just bought a Switch? Honestly, just practice, right? That's all you need. All you need is practice, practice, practice. That is the most important thing. I don't know what else I can say. Like, I never really played with controller before I got into Unite. Like, I'm always a PC player, right? Always controller. Always keyboard and mouse. So I honestly can't really tell you. I don't know what it is. It's just practice, right? Or it comes down to just practicing as much as you can. Besides that, I don't think I have very good advice on what you could be doing. Next question we have right here. If you were to rework or add Pokemon to Unite, what would be the result? Let's talk about reworking first, because the add Pokemon Unite I have somewhere else as well still. There's so many questions about what Pokemon I would like to be in the game. Gonna talk about that, of course, as well soon. But rework, honestly, I feel like I would like for a Garchomp rework. I do think Garchomp is fun and has stuff going on, but like it feels a bit weird, especially the ground ability. I think Garchomp could receive a bit of a rework. The Unite move is also kind of weird because he's like a basic attack Pokemon. I do like it though. I do like his Unite. It's pretty fun. Besides that, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Pokemon necessarily need reworks, right? I think most Pokemon are actually totally fine. It's just like, it all comes down to stats. But I do think Garchomp, especially ground Garchomp, could use a bit of a different, style maybe. Was Pokemon big in Germany when you were growing up? How did you first get into the franchise? Yeah, it was massive in Germany as well. All of us had Pokemon cards. All of us played Pokemon. I played it first on the Game Boy, Pokemon Yellow. That's the first time I played it. Watched, of course, the TV show, the first season and stuff. Like, Pokemon was all over the place, the cards, everything. So, yeah, Pokemon was massive in Germany, for sure. Very, very massive. And pretty much everyone knew Pokemon. Everyone played Pokemon. Everyone had cards. Big thing for sure. My question would be if you play other games besides Unite. Well, right now, I only play Honkai Star Rail. And I play a mobile game called AFK Arena, but that's more like just, like a daily task I kind of do just because. But besides that, I kind of just play Honkai Star Rail. And I think that's about it. Right now, like, there's no really game that piques my interest too much. So I'm kind of just waiting for something new to maybe happen that I could, play a bit more. But I just didn't have time. Like, I just rather watch TV shows or, anime TV shows, movies, instead of playing games, or watch Twitch. I watch other people play. I like Path of Exile a lot. I'm a big Path of Exile fan. Right now, it doesn't feel too fun to play, though. So I'm kind of just waiting on, like, a better patch, maybe, or Path of Exile 2 to come out. And yeah. So, Path of Exile I'm a fan of, but nothing really I'm playing a lot right now. I watch a lot of Trackmania. I don't play it, but I watch a lot of Trackmania. That's a game I really enjoy watching. I also used to play a lot of Trackmania, so that's a pretty cool game as well. When did you decide to go full time on Unite? And when did you decide that you were good at decent at casting? Are you willing to cast more? So I just decided to. I literally went all in on the second day of Unite being out, pretty much. The second day Unite came out, I just went full all in and just hope for the best and see where it goes. And if it didn't go well, I would have just stopped 1 or 2 months later, right? But gladly I didn't stop. It would always look quite decent. And I just hope that this game has a chance. That's pretty much all there is to it. I just hoped it has a chance. And it turned out that it has to be a chance. For casting, I just tried it out. I wasn't sure because I know English isn't my first language. I do speak a bit fast sometimes. I do speak very fast sometimes. I mumble a bit, so I wasn't sure if I can even cast. I just tried it out, people enjoyed it, and I just kept doing it, tried to improve at it. That's pretty much just it, because I decided not to go pro in this game, right, at some point anymore. So yeah. Alright, here's the question about what Pokemon would I like to add to Unite. Well, Flygon is my favorite Pokemon of all time, so I would probably go for Flygon. And then Ampharos is one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, so Flygon, Ampharos. And then I would also go for Suicune, I think. Suicune would be pretty cool. Any Gen 2 starter, I wouldn't mind either. Flygon, I guess. I don't know what they could be for roids. Ampharos, maybe an attacker. Flygon, All-Rounder or Speedster. Suicune, Speedster, All-Rounder. Those would be pretty cool, I would say. To be added to Unite. But there's a lot of Pokemon I feel like that could be possibly, that would be pretty fun, for it to be in Unite. But Flygon, Ampharos, I'm still waiting for them, and I hope they come at some point. What Pokemon Unite event do you like so far? I really enjoyed the full Fury mode. The one where you have very low cooldowns. I think that one is absolutely hilarious. Panic Parade is alright, but I feel like it got boring pretty fast. It's just a bit too repetitive. I feel like if it had an endless mode, I think it would be very fun, right? If it had like one mode that is just endless and it gets harder and harder and harder until you actually go down or your, Tinkaton dies, I think it would be quite fun. And then better yourself to see how many waves you can actually beat. Because once you figure it out one time, it is a bit too easy of a game mode. Pika Party is alright. The catch them thing is also the catch where you like become like Zapdos or something. It's also quite fun. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of quick play modes in general. What do you think the teams at Worlds could work on the most? I know you mentioned drafting, but what specifically? I feel like a lot of teams defaulted to taking similar comps from previous games and just simply be better than the last game. I do think it's just drafting. I do think it's drafting. I do think it's a bit... there's a lot of things, right, that you can still do better. I do think the teams did a good job playing at the World Championship. But I do think drafting is something that was for sure one of the worst parts about the World Championship. A lot of things were pretty questionable. Teams teams do kind of just go for the same teams, of course. I mean, if it works for them, right? If they practice this one team comp and they're allowed to get it over and over again, they will just keep going for it, right? Obviously. And besides that, I think it's totally fine. I think it was a very enjoyable championship, doesn't matter what. But drafting for sure is the biggest thing. Any gold badges incoming? Actually, no. I have 13,000 games played, and I'm not close to any gold badge. I'm really not. But maybe because I never had my battle booster up. But I just play every single Pokemon, right? I play so many different Pokemon. I just don't play anything that could be like close to a golden badge, so. Because I just play so many things. How to get into the gaming industry and what correlation with other content creators? Well, I had a Game Boy pretty early on, so I've always been gaming. That's pretty much just it. I've been gaming since I had my first Game Boy Color. Did I have it? I think I had a Game Boy Color, I had Game Boy. I had pretty much every Game Boy, right? We had a Nintendo 64 at home, so I played Nintendo 64 pretty early on as well. And yeah, Nintendo 64, Mario Kart, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. So that's all something I got into Pokemon as well back then. And then Pokemon Yellow, of course, and stuff. So, I mean, I guess those are probably also my almost first games, Pokemon games back then, right? That's kind of how I got into gaming as well, I guess. And if I got into esports, all because of League of Legends, right? And then when it comes to actually gaming industry, it started on League of Legends, and then I went from game to game, and I started getting more success in other games. But I guess everything kind of started with Pokemon and League of Legends, I guess, I would say. What's my favorite video game of all time ever? I mean, I guess I have to say Heroes of the Storm. It's the MOBA I played before Unite. Just because I spent so much, like... Heroes of the Storm was 4 years of my life, pretty much. I enjoyed it a lot. And if I played something for 4 years, all day, all night, I was pro in it as well. I do think it probably has to be that, right? Sure. But I don't know. I don't know what else I would call my favorite game. Like, I'm never someone who has, like, a favorite thing. I just like a lot of things. It's very difficult for me to choose one, to have, like, one all-time favorite thing. Because there's so many good things that I like. So, yeah. I don't know if that's weird or not, but having one favorite thing... That's why I also play so many different Pokemon in Unite, I feel like. Because just being stuck on one thing is just boring. I need different things to enjoy. What about an A to Z series, playing every Pokemon in alphabetical order? Actually, I already did this in the past, but that was on this map, actually. That was almost 2 years ago when this is the last time. I could be something... We could cover every single one once. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I already play every Pokemon, but it could be quite interesting, I guess. I mean, I did the Beer Challenge, right? The Beer Challenge is kind of similar, I would say. Have you watched the Pokemon anime, or do you only know the game? Yeah, I watched the Pokemon anime. As a kid, of course. I watched all the movies. So, yeah, I did watch the anime, but of course at some point I stopped watching it, right? I feel like the older I got, at some point I just watched other things, but I watched, of course, as a kid and stuff, I watched a lot of Pokemon, yeah. Yep. How do you keep yourself calm and collected while playing Unite? I think I'm just very focused. That's why it's always funny, like, some people think I have no emotions, or I show no emotions. It's because I'm focused. Like, I'm very focused on the game, I'm trying to be in the zone, and then just, you know, it happens that, I kind of look like I have no emotions, right? It's pretty funny. But in the end, I'm just very focused, right? I'm very focused on the game. I'm trying always my best. I do get annoyed as well, but in the end, like, it's my job, right? And I choose to do this for a living, so I just have to deal with it. I could have it much worse, right? So I guess all kind of the same. How to make sure no ill feelings from your previous match follow into your next match? I mean, I can be tilted sometimes. But in the end, it's just whatever. I mean, again, it's my job. If I'm always tilted or annoyed, then, you know, the quality of my content goes down. So I just have to make sure that, you know... But I do get annoyed a lot. Some people watch my stream will know that I get annoyed pretty easily, especially when games are going bad. So it's nothing I'm immune to either. But of course, I'm probably much better to dealing with it than most other players, that is for sure. But am I immune to it? Obviously not. What was my main when you played Heroes of the Storm? Also, I talked about Heroes of the Storm. In case you don't know what it is, that's also where my Heroes in my name comes from. It was a MOBA by Blizzard. Blizzard Entertainment, the ones that make Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft. They also had a MOBA with all the characters from all the universes. So you had, like, Diablo, and you had Kerrigan, and, you know, Arthas, and all that fun stuff from all the other, you know, Blizzard games. And my main was Li Ming. Li Ming is the Diablo 3 wizard, That was my main back then. I played a lot of Vala, which was the Diablo 3 Demon Hunter. I played a lot of Chromie, which was a World of Warcraft character. So yeah, those were like my mains back then in Heroes of the Storm, which were all like pretty much attacker. They were all attacker Pokemon, mages or auto attack carries like Vala. My question is that if you ever mentioned a new map with water in it and they introduced some fish type Pokemon like Magikarp, Mantine Fever stuff, that would be kind of weird. Only in water? What I would like as a map idea is that, like, I kind of want rank to be a thing where you play multiple maps. Just, you know, it's randomized what maps you get. That's what I like to see. That's for sure. And what I have mentioned was like, we have like different design generation maps. So like we have like a Gen 1 designed map, a Gen 2 designed map, a Gen 3 designed map, where all the white Pokemon are only from this generation. It also looks a bit like it, right? From the games, from the anime, has inspiration from those. I think that would be absolutely fun and a good idea, at least for me personally. And then we have like 4, 5, 6 maps in ranked, and there's a chance you always get this one. They're always a bit different. They have a bit different layout. They look different. They have different white Pokemon. I think that would be pretty fun. A complete map in water, I'm not sure really how that would be looking like. Would be kind of weird, I think. But I guess we could have like a river or something. That's for sure fine. What do you think about stacking items that give you cooldown reduction of your moves? Yeah, I guess that could be quite interesting. But I don't think it would be all too good, I have to say. Unless it really breaks a Pokemon, right? If it breaks a Pokemon and makes it have like, you know, like Delphox, where you started going cooldown reduction on, which went absolutely insane with cooldown reduction, I guess sure, but I'm not a big fan of stacking items. I think stacking items are fun to play, of course, but I think they're not a good design. I think it makes gameplay kind of awkward. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the design of stacking items. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty fun. Honestly, a crit stacking item would be interesting as well. Just straight up crits or attack speed or something. Who are you most thankful for all the success besides us fans? I mean, I guess I'm thankful to you guys. I don't know what besides that. I guess I'm thankful to Spraygits, because Spraygits did back then when I started taking YouTube a bit more serious. He did like a collaboration with me or something, where he talked to, like, he, you know, called me the best ranked, like the best solo queue player, and we did like a video together on his channel. And after that, my channel started picking up a lot more. So I guess I'm very thankful to Spraygits, cause, you know, that it did help me a lot that, you know, he made a video with me back then. So I guess, you know, I guess that's something. Share your thoughts on Nouns and Tali Bobo Worlds performance, because I think they perform better regionals compared to Worlds. Yeah, I was a bit sad. I think Nouns did fine. They just had some very bad drafts. I think Tali should have won against Yu Nation, if you're being very honest. The second game they threw away. The third game was a flip on Rayquaza. I think the Worlds format was just terrible. Like, I don't think the European teams were necessarily bad either, right? We talk about them being bad. I don't want to make an excuse that the tournament format was bad, but it was pretty bad. The seeding was bad. The only one team making out of groups was bad. Pretty much Tali just losing one best of 3 then group stage made them lose, or like go of the World Championship. I think the format was terrible. Of course, no excuse for Europe. I think they should have, Nouns and Tali should have. I mean, they were pretty close to making it out, right? Nouns still won against Orangutan, who made it out of the group stage, so I don't know. Nouns just had a very bad day against RRQ. And then they beat Orangutan though, so I don't know. It's very hard to say. I don't want to, you know, put again excuses on the Worlds format or something, but I do think there was a big issue on why, you know, Europe kinda fell short as well. But you know, everyone had to deal with it, right? Every single region had to deal with this terrible format. So if you ran partner with Cloud9 at the beginning of your streaming career, will you become a streamer anyways without partnership? I was part of Cloud9 for 3 years, but I already streamed 5 years before that, so I was already a streamer. Back in my old game, I had 1,000 views as well on Twitch. Like, on average, I had like 1,000 viewers, so it's nothing that Cloud9 was part of. I just joined Cloud9 at some point as a content creator, but I already was a streamer much earlier, and much before that, so nothing to do with Cloud9. I've been a streamer for, yeah, 8 years. And Cloud9 was just the last 3 years. So, what was the most difficult part of running a YouTube channel? Honestly, I think the most difficult part is coming up with content and then coming up with titles and captions that are totally cringe. People always mean, oh my god, you always put broken to the title and stuff. But that's what people watch. Like, you have to be cringe. You have to make things that people get, you know, want to click on. If you make things not sound too exciting, no one's going to watch your videos. So you have to have a bit of less, you know, you have to be a bit shameless, I guess. But in the end, everyone plays the same YouTube game. People always complain about me clickbaiting. But in the end, you know, you know exactly what you're getting. The content is still good enough, right? And of course I make Pokemon look better than they are, but in the end, people want to be excited to watch the video, right? You have to make them excited to watch the video. If you don't make it exciting for them to watch, then no one's going to watch your videos. But yeah, coming up with content, I guess, is quite difficult. I'm uploading a lot. I've been uploading 3 videos a day for like a year now. So still coming up with things I can post is becoming difficult. Thinking of titles, thinking of captions, I think that's probably the most annoying part. Besides that, I do enjoy it. It's quite fun and also challenging. When will I stream on YouTube? I don't know, man. So that right now I have a Twitch contract that doesn't allow me to stream on YouTube. So if my Twitch contract ever changes, there's a chance for it. If YouTube pays me to stream on their platform instead, then it could change. But besides that, very low chance I'm going to stream on YouTube unless something, you know, from the side of Twitch is going to change. What other types of games do you personally like and why? Example being Genshin and Star Rail. I mean, I talked about this earlier, right? I like ARPGs like Path of Exile and Diablo. Even though I don't like Diablo 4 much, I played a lot of Diablo 3 though. Besides that, yeah, I mean, I do like gacha games. It sounds bad, but I do enjoy gacha games. Because they're kind of like, you just, you know, they don't take much effort. You just grind a bit every single day. So yeah, Genshin. I played a lot of Genshin. I'm not playing Genshin right now, but I used to play a lot of Genshin. Besides that, yeah, I mean, I like PvP games. I like games where I get challenged in. I played a lot of Battle Right as well in the past. But just anything PvP related, right, I will probably play and enjoy. So I do also play a bit of single player games, but not too much. I finished Stardew Valley, so that's a pretty chill game I finished. So I like roguelike games like Slay of the Spire or Risk of Rain 2. Those are games I also really enjoy. So yeah. If you watched other animes, what is your favorite and why? My favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter, but I watched a lot of anime already. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter is my favorite. Full Alchemist Brotherhood is very good. Currently, I'm actually watching Bleach for the first time. That's the thing I'm currently watching, is a Bleach, which I've never really done. But there's a lot of anime I like. There's a crazy amount of anime I watched. Maybe I linked down my anime list or something. There's one I have where I wrote down every single anime I watched. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter is my favorite for sure. Hunter x Hunter is very, very nice. And yeah. Next up, Attack on Titan. But these are like all are very mainstream anime, but you know, they're just good. So why not? Why and how you thought to do YouTube as full-time? Well, my full-time is like Twitch and YouTube, right? YouTube is not only my full-time. But I mean, after I started, you know, getting people to watch my videos, I was like, sure, man, I'm just going to continue. And if it didn't happen, I would have not done it, right? But at some point, if you make enough to do it full-time, then you're just going to go full-time, right? Which sniper's the best? Decidueye or Inteleon? Venusaur. Honestly, Venusaur's not the option right here, but I guess I will go for Decidueye. Venusaur's not the option. But Solar Beam Venusaur's the best. But Inteleon Snipe Shot's also pretty good. What's my favorite guilty pleasure food? Favorite guilty pleasure food? Maybe, I don't know, honestly. Maybe Korean fried chicken. I like that a lot. I eat a lot of it. The Döner kebab? I don't know, man. I really don't know what my guilty pleasure food is. Schnitzel? There's a lot of things. Anything with fries, honestly. Anything that's either fried or has something to do with fries. How do you stay so calm during intense situations? This is what we had earlier as well. I'm just very focused. I'm very focused when playing the game. Even though I read my Twitter a lot as well, I try to just be very focused. And I think that's pretty much it. But I do get, like, you might not see it, but in like very intense situation, my heart does start beating as well. And I do notice it that I'm, you know, in an intense situation, but I'm just trying to stay focused. And yeah, but I do get nervous as well. Like when it's something very intense, very close, my heart does start beating much faster, and I do notice it. Why do you not play any esports? I mean, I played esports, so I played League of Legends. I played in the German League in League of Legends. Then I was in the best team in Infinite Crisis in esports. Then I played Heroes of the Storm professionally for 4 years. I also played Unite at the start. A lot of people don't know it, but I actually played with Bruff for the first 4 months of this game. Or like not at the start. Like at the first 2 or 3 months I only streamed and played ranked. Then I played tournaments with Bruff, back then Snow Points and so on. We had 3 North Americans and 2 Europeans. And then the championship started. We had to disband because we were North Americans and Europeans. You could only be Europeans. And I didn't really find a team because everything was already kind of like made. And the teams I could have joined, I didn't think had a chance of making a top 2 or to the World Championship, right? So I just decided to just not continue. And then my content got bigger and bigger as well. And I was like, okay, now there's no point. My content just makes much more sense. And right now, Unite Esports, there's just not enough money in it, right? Like, it's a big time investment for me to play it, where the outcome is not really all too much. And I don't have, you know, my day is not free. Like, I can't play Unite my entire day, right? And there's other things I would like to do. And I'm streaming, you know, my solo queue games, make content about it. It is much more worth it for me to just focus on it completely right now. And casting is pretty fun as well, right? I'm enjoying casting, so that's something I'm just going to stick to. How do you deal with snapback on a controller? You just have to make sure you release your ability button first, but I still get messed up by it as well. Like, I get caught by snapback, it happens to me a lot as well. But the best thing you can do is just make sure that your move thingy gets released first before your joystick. That's pretty much it. Do I watch One Piece? No. It's something I have on my list. It's just so many episodes. If I ever find time for One Piece, I will watch it. But man, starting a 1000 episode anime. Oof. Difficult. I don't know, man. I kind of want to watch it at some point though, because I feel like I'm missing out. What's my favorite competitive team? Favorite competitive team. I mean, I like TTV and Nouns. I think Nouns is pretty fun to watch because they're very like different. They always try to come up with things. TTV is just, you know, I like the people in TTV. But yeah. That's pretty much about it. Who doesn't like Solar Beam and why are they wrong? Yeah, Sprague is just wrong. I don't know how you cannot like Solar Beam Venusaur. Do you play any mainline Pokemon games? Well, I played Gen 1, I played Gen 2, I played Gen 3, I played Gen 4, I played the Gen 1 remakes, I played the Gen 2 remakes. Then I played Pokemon Ranger, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And as I think about it, I played Scarlet Violet, I played Pokemon Arceus. But after Gen 4, I kind of just like stopped playing Pokemon for a while because I pretty much just played League of Legends and stuff and MMOs on my PC. So it was all a bit different. And yeah. But I play a lot of Pokemon games, as you can see. I like Black and White, I didn't play. I have Sun and Moon and X and Y, but I never really finished it. I do have them on my DS, like I have the games, X I have Y, and I have Sun, or Ultra Sun I have. Black and White I never played. I never played Sword and Shield. But yeah, I played Scarlet Violet, I finished it. And also again, Arceus was pretty good, and I did enjoy it a lot, but besides that, just, you know, Gen 1 to Gen 4. And Gen 3 is my favorite though. Generation 3 is my favorite. I played so much Pokemon Sapphire back then, it was crazy. Pokemon Sapphire was also the first game I had my first level 100 Pokemon in. I had my level 100 Swampert as my first one, and then Kyogre as my second level 100 Pokemon. So, Pokemon Sapphire Emerald, my favorite generation games. Honestly, I would like to see Kyogre as well. Kyogre as a playable Pokemon would be pretty funny. What have you been doing between after HOTS and before Pokemon Unite? So, the thing with HOTS is, so HOTS died in end of 2018 because Blizzard completely killed the game, pretty much. Like, we had our leak, and then 2018 in December, they decided to kill the game. So that was pretty sad. And then I continued streaming. I had a pretty big followership still. Like, again, I was the biggest streamer, or the second biggest streamer as well. I had, I mean, it was like top 3 or something. I had average of 1,000 viewers, peaking up to 1,500 a lot of times. Sometimes even more. So I was the biggest pro player streamer back then. Like, all of the players that played in the highest league, I had the most viewership. And in 2018 again it died. They completely moved developers, or like the developing team, from HOTS into different games, which was pretty sad. And they killed pretty much our job, our career, in like a snap, like one email. They're like, oh, everything is done, goodbye. And like, HOTS had good viewership, right? Like, again, on Twitch, we pretty much always had 5,000 to 10,000 views every single day. The Pro Play Championship had 10,000 to 30,000 every single weekend during the league that we played in. And so then I just streamed HOTS, pretty much. I streamed HOTS after it died, because I still had viewership. And then at some point I got tired of it. I was just too tilted about how the game was going. There was no updates anymore. And then I kind of quit streaming. Well, I didn't quit streaming. I tried Dota Underlords, which was a auto battle game similar to Dota Auto Chess. And then I played some League of Legends just for fun and figured that I tried to figure out what I want to do in life, pretty much. So I just played some League, I streamed some League, tried to figure out what I do. Then I went on to like a 3 months of just playing Path of Exile only. And then I slowly started trying to look for if I want to study again, if I want to work a job, if I want to, you know, practice for a job. And then COVID happened. Right, 2020, COVID happened. And I was just like, man, I kind of want to start something during the COVID times. So I went back to streaming Heroes of the Storm after like 8 months of not streaming it. And I had viewership again. I was reaching 5 to like 1,000 views, which is enough to live off, right? It's enough to have a full-time job in. So I just had a safe job from home that I continued. I played some tournaments there as well again for fun. There was like set tournaments going on, not bigger ones, but like, you know, crowdfunded community tournaments that I still played in as well, which I won a few too. And then, yeah, Unite came out. Then I streamed HOTS again for 1 year. I was tired again of keep playing it again. We had no balance patches anymore. Nothing happened. No updates, no new Pokemon, and no new characters, no skins even added. And then Unite came out, and I switched. I tried Unite, and I just went all in on it and hoped that it, you know, sticked. And as you can see, was probably a good decision to go for it. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened after 2018 and between HOTS and Pokemon Unite. What is map awareness? How do you become better at it? I think it's just focusing, like just learning to look at the minimap a lot. And what I do is I kind of think what my opponents are going to do. That's why sometimes, like, I struggle against bad players because I try to think what my opponents are going to do, and if they do something very weird and random, then it's quite or can be quite awkward. So yeah, I try just like I look at the minimap a lot. I try to figure out how the enemies are going to rotate, and then I just hope that I'm right. And yeah, it's just like practicing a lot. It's just a lot of practice, like paying attention to the minimap and all that fun stuff. When I want to pick a Pokemon, what should I look at? Honestly, just buy a Pokemon you find fun and entertaining. If anything looks interesting to you, just go for that Pokemon, straight up. Just play what you enjoy. Play a Pokemon that you think is going to, you like the design of, you like the moves, you find fun, just go for that, straight up. Will I do collabs on your channel? I don't know. I think I guess thinking about it, but the problem is that a lot of content creators in Unite are North American based, so it's a bit difficult, I would say, to make that really happen. Because then someone has to play on ping and stuff. I have some ideas maybe for some collaborations, but yeah, we'll try to figure out something and see if there's something more I could do in this direction. Can you explain how to communicate with people and explain them something without offending them in game? You have to just be calm and try to explain them. The problem is that, first of all, no one even knows that if you like give correct feedback, right? Like a lot of people just don't want to have feedback from some random player they played with, right? And then second of all, they also have to take criticism. If someone can't take, you know, if someone doesn't want to learn, then they will just not. Like you can't teach someone who doesn't want to learn, right? Pretty straightforward. So in general, just be calm. But you have to be good at the game as well. Like if you're not someone who is like decent, has a good win rate, then no one's going to take advice from you. Pretty straightforward. How do I like master in every Pokemon? I think I'm just like, I've always been good at MOBA games. It's just something. I've just always been good at games in general. I was Challenger League of Legends. I was rank 1 in Heroes of the Storm multiple seasons. I was rank 1 in the ranking system. Multiple seasons in a row, I beat rank 1. I was Challenger in Wild Rift. I'm just good at games. I mean, there's no secret to it. Some people are good at games, some people are not good at games. I just got lucky, and I have genes that are good. It's talent as well, right? It's just something you're born with, pretty much. You can, of course, learn it, but someone will just be better at games than others. It's very straightforward, and that's just what I'm just good at games. There's no like big secret or something. I'm just good at games, and that's pretty much just it. And of course, me playing a lot of different things also gets a good feeling for other things as well. Do I have any other hobbies outside of my job? Again, I like watching TV shows a lot. I like watching anime. I'm learning some Korean for fun, which I guess is kind of a hobby. I do love biking. If you follow my Twitter, which you should, Twitter at CrisHeroes. I post pictures of the nature of Berlin when I go on bike trips. I do like biking a lot. I do love biking, so that always clears my head. We have a lot of good paths in Berlin as well to bike on. So that's something I enjoy doing. Besides that, I don't really have anything I do. I guess watching Twitch streams, I don't know if that counts as a hobby. Playing games, of course, still as well if I can. Yeah, nothing. I have nothing too crazy going on. I used to love skiing. Skiing was one of my favorite hobbies. Very expensive, only once a year as well, going to ski. But that just is too risky. Like, I couldn't risk an injury, but once I started, you know, doing pro gaming as my career, I just didn't want to risk an injury. Very straightforward. Like, and skiing is very risky. You can break your arms very easily. You can have injuries very easily, so I stopped skiing at some point. I enjoy watching Formula 1 as well. One of my hobbies is just following Formula 1. And yeah. So I guess that's kind of for the Q&A. I hope I got all the questions that were asked. And if not, well then, I'm sorry. I'll try to answer as many as possible. It was pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much again for 100k. It was a 40-minute video. I hope some of you are going to stick through it. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm going to try to continue uploading very consistently, and I hope you guys continue watching and enjoying my videos. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.